Hi, thank you for joining me. My name is Liz and this is my movement channel, Movement with Liz. Today we'll be doing a Yin Yoga practice focusing on the spine. So if you have not done Yin Yoga before, it's quite or very different to a Vinyasa flow. If you've done one of those, where we're building a lot of heat in the body, we're using the muscles to hold positions and moving sometimes quite fast from position to position. With Yin Yoga, we find a shape and then we hold that shape for anywhere between 3 to 20 minutes. We won't be doing 20-minute holds today, but you can hold it up to 20 minutes. And you want to be as passive as you can in the shape, meaning there's very little effort on your behalf. So one rule with Yin Yoga, I don't really like rules, but one rule with Yin Yoga is that we never go into pain and we never force the body into a shape. So I'll get you into a shape, or I'll instruct you into a shape, but just knowing that if there is pain in the body, in the joints especially, when you are holding that shape, just to change something slightly. And if nothing changes, then completely coming out of the shape, as again, we're not forcing the body into a position and we're not going into pain. So with Yin Yoga, we find our first edge, and that's the first sign of sensation when you're going into the shape. So that might be a pulling sensation through the muscle tissue. You might feel that, depending on the shape that we're getting into in certain areas of the body. And we want to go to our first edge. And then as we hold the shape, you may get an invitation to take the shape deeper. And it may happen, it may not happen. And it's kind of just listening to your body, working with your body, and just kind of meeting it where it's at. And if it happens to go deeper, awesome. If not, it's kind of just meeting yourself where you're at and being able to say, well, this is where I'm at today, and being okay with that. So I hope that all made sense. So if you've done Yin Yoga before, you kind of know what you're in for, but if you are new to it, it can be, it's a very different experience. It's a really beautiful experience and really nice practice to bring into your daily or your weekly routine. So we're going to start sitting up nice and tall. You can lay down if that feels more comfortable for you. I'm not going to be using any props, but if you do have yoga blocks or bolsters that you feel you may need throughout the practice, please grab them. Just lengthening up through the spine, slightly tuck the chin, closing the eyes down. Starting to breathe nice and smoothly in and out of your nose. So whatever's been happening in your day, just let that be for now. Just giving yourself this time to relax. Maybe there's something that you would love to let go of. Maybe setting an intention for yourself to let that go. Finding that awareness of your breath. And I'll remind you throughout the practice to keep coming back to your breathing. It's kind of like your home base throughout the practice. So when we find our shapes, maybe there's a little bit of movement at the beginning just to find that perfect spot. And then once you've found that, relaxing as much as you can, and then moving as little as possible. And there will be a gentle rhythm of your body with your breath. Trying not to fidget or wriggle around unless you need to come out of the shape because of pain. Gently opening the eyes. Keep that smooth rhythm of breath going. Our first shape will be butterfly. So bringing the feet out in front, take a little wriggle around on your buttocks. Now the option here, you can stay seated. You may need some support underneath your knees, so if you do, please add pillows or blocks underneath them. But we're coming into flexion. So flexion of the spine, which is our folding forward, will be rounding through the spine. So starting to fold the body forward, or the upper body forward. And you may need something to rest the forehead to. If it feels okay, maybe you're here and it feels safe for your spine and your neck, you can stay here and just relax and let gravity start to do its thing. If you've got a little bit more movement, you may be folding all the way forward, but we're not trying to get there. We're just finding that first sign of sensation, relaxing into that position. Keeping a smooth rhythm of breath. And you'll know if you've gone too far into the shape because your breath will become short and rigid. So as long as you can still breathe nice and smoothly, you're in a good position. Focusing on the breath. And then starting to explore the body and the sensations that arise from the shape. So I'm not going to speak too much more in this position. I'll tell you when to slowly start to make your way out, but for now, just relaxing as much as you can. Take about 5 more breaths in and out. And very slowly start to press yourself back up, pressing down through the palms, rolling yourself back up to a seated position. So we spend a bit of time in the shape, so we take our time coming out, and then finding a way to either sit or move your body. So you might feel like you need to reverse that curve, bring the hands behind, roll the shoulders back, press the chest forward. Might feel nice to Bring the feet to the floor, take a bit of a windshield wiper from side to side. Just seeing if you can just listen into your body. It'll tell you exactly what it needs. And we'll be coming into shoelace with lateral flexion of the spine. So it's bringing your feet or your legs out in front of you. So we're going to cross the right leg over the left, and you may stay here. This may be enough for you. It's making sure that you can sit up nice and tall. You may like to bring the bottom leg underneath. And as you can see here, my knees aren't exactly stacked over each other. That's just kind of the way that my hips are allowing for at the moment. So we want to make sure that both sit bones are on the ground and the feet will kind of be out to the side. And then we're going to take some lateral flexion. We're going to go over to the left side, creating an opening through the right side of the rib cage. So the left hand will come up. The option here is to reach up and over with the left hand and rest the hand down on the head, or bring the right hand behind, and you can kind of grab hold of your pants or your shirt and just start to take a nice little lean over to the left side. You might feel that through the right hip area, down the right side of the rib cage. And again, just going to that first sign of sensation. It's not about pushing to 100%. So yin can be a really nice way just to slow yourself down a little bit. Pull yourself back, which is not a bad thing. And then explore through your body. So the sensations that you feel, where you feel them, if they're really strong or subtle. Just seeing if you can experience them for what they are. So we don't have to create stories around them. Just experience the sensations and get to know what's happening in your body. There is a little bit of effort needed here from the left arm. So that little bit of pressure down into the floor. See if you can bring that right shoulder back a little bit more. So we're not folding forward, we're more thinking lifting tall and then leaning to the side. breathing nice and smoothly. Take about 5 more breaths. And then bring that, when that breath nice and smooth, means we're in a good position. And then very slowly, it's pressing yourself back up, taking your time to uncross the legs. It can be nice just to bring them out in front, maybe give them a little bit of a wriggle. Be nice just to roll the shoulders a couple of times. So we hold the shapes for long periods of time because we're focusing on the deep fascia in the body, and it responds well to long, slow holds. So we don't need to think about being strong or really pushing the body to its limits. It's more about being able to relax as much as we can and really holding that, what we call adding stress to the tissue as we hold these shapes. It's going to move into the other side. So making that choice, either one leg coming across, and it may be really different to the previous side. So just allow yourself to have that little negotiation with yourself. It doesn't have to look the same, and it doesn't have to feel the same either. So again, making sure that both sit bones are on the mat. And you'll notice here I have got a phone here. I'm not looking at my phone, I've just got a timer there to make sure I'm not holding too long on one side than the other. And then the option is to come into that lateral flexion of the spine. So the right hand will come down. You can either reach the left hand over and rest it somewhere on the head, or you can bring it behind the body. I like to grab hold of my leggings, roll that shoulder back, and then think about leaning over to the side, keeping both hips on the ground. And you can even bring the ear down towards that shoulder. You might feel a nice line of tension down through the neck, the top of the shoulder, down the rib cage into your hip area. It might be really strong. Might be some areas that you feel it more than others. Finding that little bit of effort from the right hand, and then seeing if you can relax as much as you can with the rest of the body. Relaxing through the muscles of the face. You tend to squint through the eyes or scrunch up through the eyebrows. Take about 5 more breaths. See if you can relax that little bit more into the shape. Once you've taken those 5 breaths, slowly, very slowly press yourself back up and out, unwinding the legs, taking any movements that you need, or maybe you need to sit for a moment and just be still. So lots of things happening while we hold the shape, and then you might feel that energy move through the body as you start to add movement and come out of the shape. Super, super cool to learn how to pay attention to our bodies. We're going to be coming down onto our bellies into Sphinx shape. So laying down flat. Bringing your forearms underneath your shoulders. And just take a moment here, roll the shoulders away from the ears. So we want to be able to move our head around with no pain or jammed up kind of feelings. If this is too much here, you can bring the arms a little bit further in front, and that'll kind of just sort of ease some of the tension, especially off through the lumbar spine there. So if that's what you need to do, please do. Or you can add something underneath the ribcage area, like a bolster or a couch cushion or a pillow. So finding the shape or the position that works best for your body today. So again, a little bit of effort needed from the upper body. We're pressing down into the palms, lifting the chest. So we're coming into extension of the spine. There's a big emphasis here on our lower back. So any lower back issues, maybe bring the arms out that little bit more in front. You can squeeze through the glutes, and that'll ease some of that kind of compressive like sensation through the lower back. If it feels safe though, you know there's no issues there, you can start to let the lower body and the belly region start to relax down into the ground. And there may be a sensation in the lower back, a compressive like feeling, but it's not pain. Take your time, wriggle around if you need to wriggle around. And then if you can, just starting to let that lower body relax. Relaxing through the face. Finding a nice smooth rhythm of breath. We focus on our breathing, we focus on the sensations to keep the mind occupied. We like to go off on little tangents or maybe little stories, or going back into what happened yesterday or the day before, what you think might happen tomorrow. So giving the mind something to do, breathing smoothly, and then take yourself on a little journey through the body. option is to intensify this a little bit more. You can bring your hands out just a little bit wider than the shoulders, press down into the palms, lifting up into seal. So again, just being mindful here. We're not going to be here for too long. Shoulders are away from the ears, pressing down through both palms evenly. We'll hold for about 5 more breaths. Whatever option you've taken, just slowly start to make your way out, coming down. Take a little moment here, maybe laying flat down on the floor. Might be nice just to windshield wiper the legs from side to side. And it may be nice to reverse that curve through the spine, pressing back into a child's pose. Again, just taking your time to move. We will be making our way onto our back. We have one more shape to do on either side of the body. So laying down onto your back. So we're going to come into a spinal twist, some rotation through the spine. So feet come flat to the floor. Take your hips and just gently lift them up, move them over to the right side, let the knees drop down to the left, and then reaching both arms out in a bit of a T position, about shoulder height. Got kettlebells here to contend with. I want to try and just relax that shoulder or the right shoulder down towards the ground. Feel free to kind of wriggle the legs around. If you need to come a little bit lower or maybe a little bit higher with the knees, do so. Ultimately, relaxing as much as you can, and then see if you can really breathe into that top rib cage. Big breath in, feeling a nice expansion happen. And then as you breathe out, letting everything go, relaxing down into the shape. Take about 5 more breaths. And slowly start to unwind yourself, bring yourself back through to center. You may need to kind of take a bit of a wriggle around, just recentering the spine and the hips. We will make our way into the other side. So gently lift the hips, take them to the left side, let the knees drop down to the right, and then reaching the arms out long. So remember, it might feel really different. May have to be slightly different in your position. Maybe there's more space or less space on this side. Just kind of meet yourself there, and just kind of allow it to be what it is. And just experience what's happening in your body. Breathing smoothly. Breathing into that top rib cage. Five more smooth, deep breaths. And gently making your way out of the shape. Just take any last little movements that you feel the body needs. Maybe hug the knees in towards your chest, or feet might come wide and bring the knees in together. Just doing whatever you feel you need. And then making sure that you're warm, making sure you have support. So you may need something underneath your knees or your head, maybe something over the eyes to block out any extra light. We'll be coming into our final resting position for a few moments. Just let the body lay flat down into the ground. So just take a little moment, just thanking yourself, thanking your body, and letting yourself rest and digest the practice. Start to breathe a little bit deeper. Maybe take a big stretch overhead, reaching out through the fingers and the toes. And then bending through your knees, rolling to one side. Let's take a little moment there. And then making your way up to a seated position. Just trying to keep that focus inward. Finding a comfortable seat. Maybe you are still laying down and that's okay, or lying down, that's okay. Bring your hands into prayer, in front of the heart. And really thank yourself for making the time to be here, giving yourself this time to practice. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. I'd love to hear your feedback. Andrew, my partner, and I will be running a 200-hour Yin Yoga teacher training in August in Batemans Bay on the south coast of Australia, which we are very excited about. The link is below, so please jump on and have a look. And we would love to share this amazing practice with you. Everything from the traditional Chinese medicine side to fascia, the nervous system, and everything else that comes with this amazing practice. So thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you next time.